Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise. Kal halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Lakal Bradash. Of course, double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, who taught us truth, and who rule well. All right, this is Naaman.
Yo, Sap.
And Yahweh Sap, all right, from the DC camp. All right, I want to share this article with you. And it's asking a question in light of the things that are going on with the killings of Jake. You know, the latest in Minneapolis, of course. And the other incidents, the one down in Kentucky, just another incident happened down in, I believe it was Orlando, Florida, where they shot a Jake, you know, a woman. And another one in Michigan where they beat up a Jake woman, all right, threw her to the ground, tasered her husband because they wouldn't leave. I believe it was a shootout. It was in Detroit, I believe it was. Anyway, so the question being is right here. All right, if you can see it. And it asks a question. It says, opinion. After George Floyd's death in Minnesota, still think Colin Kaepernick's knee was the problem? With all due respect to Mr. Kaepernick, of course this goes deeper. All right, we're addressing this on because we all know the story of Jacob and Esau, Cain and Abel, you know. This is an ancient hatred, all right? It's more than just hoping that this devil is going to somehow miraculously learn to respect us, and we have to get off this expecting him to give us rights, all right? Because this devil hates us. It's in him, it's spiritual, all right? So I'm going to start off with a scripture. Hold on. I had it on the story that I forgot. This is, as soon as this thing loads here. Always acts up when you least expect it, you know, say it. So this is Amos 1 and 11. And it says, thus saith the Most High Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom. Who's it talking about? The descendants of the brother of Jacob, Esau, all right? But we know now today is so-called white people, which they're not, but that's who they're referred to as. It says, thus saith the Most High Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. So I just stated that twice, perpetually. So let's go into that. All right. Perpetually, Strong's H5703, I'd, perpetuity, forever, continuing, future, ancient. What did I say about this? Goes back to the beginning, between the descendants, always that war, the descendants of 2 brothers. Ancient, in parentheses, of past time, forever, of future time, of continuous existence, forever. All right? That's why things are never going to work out between our 2 nations. All right? That's why, since we're in, you got to understand, this devil was set up as a punishment for us for going off. All right? And he's going to have to be taken down when Yahweh Shai comes back because of that blessing. We can't do anything about it. You know, his blessing was a sword. And when we say sword, all right, his instruments of death, think of it that way. All right? Let's see, duration and sense of advance of perpetuity, all right, eternity, all right, old, perpetually, world without end, all right. So we got that. Did you have anything on as far as the scripture?
Yeah. I got one. Okay. I'm gonna read here. I'm gonna go into this. I'm going to Songs. Songs, chapter 10. Okay.
Oh yes. God, good.
Okay. Why, why, why stands thou afar off, O Lord? Why hide thyself in time of trouble? The wicked in his pride does prosecute the poor. Let them be taken in the device that they have imagined.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But the wicked boast of his heart desire, and bless the covenants whom the Lord abhor. Okay. The wicked, the wicked, he think this supposed to, he think he'll be able to do this forever though.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He really think he gonna be in this situation forever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but he don't know the Most High hate him.
There you go.
The Most High hate him. Like that.
Come.
So he just like you said, the way he killed that Jake in Minnesota, that really was. But I know it's part of the curses.
Mm-hmm.
But the way they killed that Jake, you just showed me in Minnesota with that cop. The Jake was already handcuffed,
Mm-hmm.
and he had his knee on his neck.
There you go.
Until he died. And they, the people, they just, Jake ain't riled up yet.
Nope.
They just seeing him kill a man like that. That was really was that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that.
And this is the thing we have to consider now. Part of that scripture you said, the wicked boast of his heart's desire, right? So we're going to establish who the wicked is in case you all don't know. This is Malachi chapter 1 verse 4. Whereas Edom saith, who we talking about, the descendants of Jacob's brother Esau, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Most High, the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Most High Yahweh hath indignation forever. All right. So now we've established who it's talking about when it talks about the wicked. All right. And this is something that the churches don't teach our people. And therefore, when they hear it, they're like, oh, no, man, so everybody does, wickedly. No. That's not what it's saying here. And when you go to Sirach 33rd chapter, in fact, I'll go to it real quick. It tells you how things are laid out or set up. All right, you can't have one without the other. This is Sirach or Ecclesiastes chapter 33, verse, I will start at 10. It says, and all men are from the ground, and Adam was created of earth, as his name applies, Adama, from the ground. All right. In much knowledge, verse 11, in much knowledge, the Most High hath divided them and made their ways diverse. All right. So we're not supposed to be all one. All right. As Esau would want you to believe. Verse 12, some of them hath he blessed and exalted, and some of them hath he sanctified and set near himself. But some of them hath he cursed and brought low and turned out of their places. 13, as the clay is in the potter's hand to fashion it at his pleasure, so man is in the hand of him that made him, to render to them as liketh him best. Good, here it is, the point, 14, good is set against evil, and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly. All right, so everybody's not supposed to be, there is a divide. Just think Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter. There's a time for this, there's a time for that. See, there's a separation. All right, too much of anything is what? A false balance. That's Proverbs 11:1, which the Most High hates. All right. right? So you can't have one without the other. How are you going to know love if you don't have hate, and vice versa? All right, and that's what the church doesn't teach. So when it says, let me go to it. This is Amos 5, because what Esau wants you to believe is you're supposed to associate with people. And well, let me just read the scripture. This is Amos chapter 5 and 15. It says, hate the evil and love the good, and establish judgment in the gate. Judgment. All right. That goes to show you right there. You have to distinguish between something. All right. Judgment. It may be that the Most High, Yahweh, the Lord power of hosts, will be gracious unto the remnant of Joseph. All right. Again, a separation. And that's talking about the elect. Remnant. All right. So let's go into the story here. All right. Again, it says, this is from USA Today. It says, opinion, after George Floyd's death in Minnesota, still think Colin Kaepernick's knee was the problem? All right. For those of you, and that's the attitude, because you have something called institutional racism here. It's gone on so long, it's just expected. It's just, you know. Anyway, it's a word I want to bring up, but I'm going to read this first. It says, I hope all those so indignant at Colin Kaepernick taking a knee on the field or is outraged by the white Minneapolis police officer putting a knee on a black man's neck. So-called black man. I don't like saying that. Like brown, at least. Sadly, I doubt that will be the case. Oh, there might be some who watched the horrible video of George Floyd's last moments and finally understand why Kaepernick protested. Finally, see the casual disregard our society has for the lives of brown people. Finally, and they're Israelites that we're concerned about. All right. Finally, comprehend the toll the legacy of slavery continues to exact on this country. Do you understand now? LeBron James posted on Instagram on Tuesday night, posting a photo of the officer pinning Floyd down with his knee alongside one of Kaepernick protesting. All right. But too many will simply ignore Kaepernick's message once again. They'll find a way to justify the actions of the police officer who continued kneeling on Floyd's neck Monday night, even as Floyd said he couldn't breathe, and witnesses begged the officer to stop. Yelp about Kaepernick disrespecting the troops, or what about his choice of t-shirts or socks? Trivial shit, all right? Something that has nothing to do with the subject. They try to deflect, all right, when you bring up stuff like this. As if anything justifies someone who is supposed to protect and serve to cavalierly taking a life. And that's where I'm going to stop right here, because I had a word in mind I want to get the definition of. And for so long, our people, this is what applies. All right? This is the attitude of the oppressor toward our people. And this is the word impunity. And it says, as a noun, exemption from punishment, penalty, or harm. You got to remember, what was it? The Casual Killing Act, I believe it was 1669, that absolved the slave owner from killing the slave. That's what we're dealing with. Now, again, the second one, it says exemption from punishment or penalty, freedom or exemption from injury, suffering, or discomfort. All right, let's go into Merriam-Webster. All right. Exemption or freedom from punishment, harm, or loss. Scrolling on down. Synonym, immunity. And they have enjoyed that for so long. Who was that guy? It was just, old Negro, you know. Don't worry about it. All right. It says impunity, like the words pain, peno, and punish, traces to the Latin noun pena, meaning punishment. All right. People acting with impunity have prompted use of the word since the 1500s, as in the 1660 example by Englishman Roger Coke. This unlimited power of doing anything with impunity will only beget a confidence in kings of doing what they desire. And he's had that over us ever since. Do what he wants to us whenever he wants to do it. That's impunity. All right. The thing now, technology. People are getting it on camera. All right, because everybody's got this little mini computer in their hand. Our people have brought this up time and time again, but everybody else just said, quit complaining. I just heard the other, maybe it was yesterday, or was it the day before, someone had asked, as it pertains to rape, and this old woman, who was it? She was it her grandmother that was actually a slave? This was a long time ago. And they were asking her, said, well, what did you do as women when it came to rape? How did you respond? How did you carry on after something like that? And she's like chuckled, and she was like, well, you know, in our day, you just wiped yourself off and kept it moving. And they were like, oh, you know, and the person was like, see, that's what our people had to put up with. And this is something else I'm going to bring up. Watch, with all these incidents happening to our people, I've noticed a pattern. These so-called Jews, something's going to pop off with them, or they're going to start complaining about stuff because they want to keep themselves in the limelight. See, they want to detract from enough things that happen to us. People will say, well, maybe what they're saying out here on the corners, you know, the things happening to them, well, maybe they are the real Jews. See, whenever something comes up like this, where our people are getting our asses handed to us, and nobody gives a damn, all right, watch. Something's going to kick off with them, be another synagogue shooting or something like that. And then people, oh no, those are the real Jews. No, blacks, they can't be the Jews. Look it up, look what happened to them. See, it's always something like that. Watch. All right, back to the article. Let's see. All right, it says it's been almost 4 years since Kaepernick began protesting police brutality against people of color, as well as the endemic racism at the root of it. And Floyd's death shows we haven't learned a damn thing. This wasn't, as some will no doubt claim, a one-off by 4 rogue cops who were fired Tuesday. They were fired. Floyd is dead for the same reason Kaepernick remains blackballed from the NFL. Many who hold power in America refuse to acknowledge that those with brown skin are treated different. That, or they know it and they just don't care. And I'm willing to go with the latter. They know it, they just don't give a damn. There's a video of, what's the woman's name? She used to be a school teacher years and years ago. What's her name? Jane Elliott. And there's like under a minute, and she poses a question. It's nothing but Edomites in the audience. And she poses a question. She said, how many of you would like to play traces, and she used the words black, with your black brothers and sisters? Absolute silence. She said, well, wait a minute, maybe you didn't understand my question. So she asked the question again. She said, how many of you would like to trade places, you know, with your so-called African-American brothers and sisters? They just looking like, you know, you got the deer in the headlights look. And she was like, you know what? That's what I thought. You know what's going on. You know what's happening to these people. You just don't give a damn. Because it's not you. All right. If I can find that link, I'll post it. But that's the thing. It says that, or they know it and they just don't care. All right. Facts. It says being so-called black in America should not be a death sentence. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey said in a Facebook post Tuesday before the 4 officers were fired. For 5 minutes, we watched a white officer press his knee into a black man's neck. 5 minutes. When you hear someone calling for help, you're supposed to help. This officer failed in the most basic human sense. What happened last night is awful. It was traumatic. It serves as a reminder of how far we have to get. See, you keep expecting this devil to come around when he's not going to come around. I just read Amos. Let's go to, again, I said this is an ancient hatred, right? let's go to Psalms. Now, I'm skipping a lot because I'm assuming a lot of people know that Jacob. Well, let's go to it. This is Genesis chapter 25. All right. And we're going to start around 19. All right. And it says, and these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begat Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Paddan Aram, the sister to Laban the Syrian. All right. And we have to understand that these are all kin. All right. These are all flesh and blood related. All right. It says, and Isaac entreated the Most High for his wife because she was barren. And the Most High was entreated of him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. All right. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. All right. Meaning she went to a prophet. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. And that's the time we're coming into now, because Esau was the elder. All right. He's going down. He's going down. When you go into 2nd Ezra, 6th chapter, it goes into that. All right. Verses 7 through 9. And it says, and when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb, and the first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau, or Ishashma, which means wasted away is he. What was wasted away? He had no pigment. All right, he's a clean leper, and say there's you know, and that reference. Oh, this thing is just devil, Satan. It says, and after that came out his brother, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel. Didn't mention what his brother looked like, because his brother looked normal, like everybody else. It was Esau that was the exception, so everybody else was dark complexion. And his name was called Jacob, and Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, clue, bing, 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 you know, foghorn, a man of the field. And Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. Let's go into that, because a lot of people, this clearly is a distinction, all right, between the two. So let's get it. When it means, gotta start all over again.
Yeah, the white man, he like the field, he like the...
yeah, I mean, it should be obvious, but a lot of people just...
He like to hunt and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Go out there and hunt barrels, deers, alligators, you know. But the black man, he a plain man. He like the club and shit, you know. He like the,
Here it is. This is plain. Strong's H8535. Fum. Perfect. Complete. One who lacks nothing in physical strength, beauty, etc. Sound, wholesome, an ordinary, quiet sort of person. Complete, morally innocent, having integrity. One who is morally and ethically pure. Keep that word integrity in your mind. Let's finish the rest. All right. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah, the mother, loved Jacob. Another clue. And Jacob sowed pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. Remember I said keep that word integrity in your mind. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall his birthright do to me? Now, was it stolen? No. And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he sware to him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. So it wasn't stolen. He lacked integrity, therefore he sold it. And Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, And he did eat and drink and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. And as a result, when we get to chapter 27, I'm just doing this to give you the history. And then perhaps you'll understand what's going on now. So when we go to 27, all right, Jacob supplanted him yet again. Rebekah told him to put on, let's see, let me go in and get it real quick. Here it is. This is Genesis 27 and 8. It says, now therefore, my son, this is Rebekah talking to Jacob, obey my voice according to that which I command thee. Oh man, I'm sorry. This is Isaac instructing Esau to go out and, so he can, his venison, all right, to cook it for him. All right, here it is. Oh, hold on. I'll stop. Oh. This thing is through. It just keeps, it got a mind of its own. It says, go now, verse 9, go now to the flock and fetch me from thence 2 good kids of the goats, and I will make them savory meat for thy father, such as he loveth. And thou shalt bring it to thy father, that he may eat, and that he may bless thee before his death. You got to remember, this is all in the spirit. A lot of people complain about that. Well, this is deception. No, this is the way it was supposed to go down. Otherwise, it wouldn't have happened. All right. And Jacob said to Rebekah, his mother, behold, Esau, my brother, is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man. My father peradventure will fill me, and I shall seem to him as a deceiver. All right. And I shall bring a curse upon me, not a blessing. And his mother said to him, upon me be thy curse, my son, only obey my voice and go fetch me there. So what happens is, he brings to meat, Isaac feels, skins, and he thinks this is son Esau, all right? So if we scroll down, so he gets the blessing. That's the second time. So we scroll on down to 31. 30, as a matter of fact. And it came to pass as soon as Isaac made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting. So now Esau returns from the field, and now he's fixing to it's kind of funny, actually, to me it is. So it says, you see it in the movies all the time, all right? It says, and he also made savory meat and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, let my father arise and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul may bless thee. And Isaac his father said unto him, who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, who? Where is he that hath taken venison and brought it to me? And I have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed him, yea, and he shall be blessed. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, thy brother came with subtlety, and hath taken away thy blessing. And he said, is not he rightly named Jacob, which means supplanter? For he hath supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. No, you sold your birthright. All right, so here we go. He asked his father for a blessing. If he had, just one, and he said, and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. Becomes another clue. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. And that's been going on ever since. Now, hopefully you get what I just read. You understand all this time since then, this is what's been going on between these two, the descendants of these 2 brothers. All right? That's why it will never, ever, nothing ever will come, good will come of us being together. Let's see, now I can come when you understand that, Psalms, and you get into from Genesis and the Exodus and the Numbers, with the Amalekites, which are the tribe of Edom, all right, the things that they did. And the scripture there says the Lord will have war with, Amalek from generation to generation, all right? So it's never going to stop. This is Psalms 137 and 7. It says, remember, O Lord, O Most High Yahweh, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stone. All right? So everything that he's done to us, as it says in Revelation 18 chapter, give him double. And that's what's going to happen to him. All right? Psalms 83 we're going to, but for time's sake, I'm going to wrap it up. Psalms 83, all right, the chapter that goes into the ways or the measures they've taken to keep us from being a nation. All right, it says there are those that are confederate. So all these other nations, these heathen nations, the chief one, of course, being Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. All right, you think of the United Nations, you think of the EU, you think of NATO, all this. These meetings like the Bilderbergs and things of that nature. What do you think they're talking about? All right. Let's see. Do I have anything else? Yes. Let's go to Lamentations 4. This is Lamentations chapter 4, verse 20. It says, the breath, come on here, 21. It says, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also, what's that cup? Slavery. The cup also should pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. So what do you think's prompting all this coronavirus crap? All right, this is just a cover-up for him trying to set up this system in place, all right, and he's keeping people in their houses, all right, under the guise of it being a medical emergency with this coronavirus, all right. Now he's enforcing it now here in the district. I hear they arrested people for social distancing violations, and I wonder who those were. It probably wasn't Esau, Edom, so-called white people. I can rest assured it was Jake's, all right. All right, man. Malachi, Obadiah. Okay, we know that little short chapter there is so powerful, where it talks about Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, his future or lack thereof, which way you want. This is verse 10 of Obadiah. It says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. That says it in a nutshell right there. All right. Anything that you had, Art?
Yeah, okay, I'm finish this
I didn't
Psalms,
know
this chapter. Okay. Where did I stop at? His ways are always grievous. Thy judgment are far above out of his sight. And for all his enemies he puffeth them. See, his ways is he always grievous, you know. He you can't get nothing. You can't get his system. You can't the blacks can't, you know, can't get nothing going here. You know, no business, no nothing. You know, the other nation come in here and just set up all kind of business.
That's part of curses. That's part of curses, you know.
And it's you know, for he think he can't be brought down. His enemies like China, somebody they think China ain't, China can't contend with them in no kind of way. They try to take over the Pacific and out there. The Chinese had told them to leave there already. They just puffing it at everybody. They just puffing at everybody. Okay, he has said in his heart, "I shall not be moved. For I shall never be in adversity." Ain't nobody gonna challenge him. Ain't gonna be ain't gonna be no kind of conflict. Can't nobody stop him. Like that. Okay, his mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. On his tongue is mischief and vanity. He's a liar. He a real liar, man. Like you just got you talking like somewhere he can set up, Okay. He sits in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret place does he murder the innocent. Okay. His eyes are privileged set against the poor. Okay, any way he can get away with murder. Any way he can get away with murder a black man, he gonna do it. If the police can get away with it, shit, they gonna do it.
Going back to what I said earlier, when I brought up the word impunity and what it means. All right.
Okay, he lies in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lies in wait to catch the poor.
And who are the poor? It's talking about Israelites.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. He catch the poor when he draw him into his net. That's the same, 2/3, Okay. He crouched and humbled himself that the poor may fall by his strong ones. This strong one, I guess that's his police force. This is most of this is a police force, military, whatever, and stuff. He says in his heart, "The Lord has forgotten." Okay, like slavery, that was a long time ago, like that. Okay, he hides his face. He will never see it. Okay, arise, O Lord, O God, lift up thy hand. Forget not the humble. Okay, where does the wicked contend God? He had said in his heart, "Thou wilt not require it." Well, they always say, they always say they don't believe in God no way. Like that. Okay, thou hast seen it, for thou behold mischief and spite to requite it with thy hand. The poor committed himself unto thee. Thou art the helper of the fathers. Okay, break thou the arm of the wicked and the evil man. That's him. He wicked and evil. Seek out his wickedness till thou find none. The Lord is king forever and ever. The heathen are perished out of the land, out of his land. They're gonna come true. Lord, thou hast heard the desire of the humble. Thou wilt prepare their hearts. Thou wilt cause thy ears to hear, to judge the fatherless and the oppressed, that the man of the earth may no more oppress. That's him, see.
Right.
That's it.
It's the fatherless, again, making reference to Israel. All right, anything else on it?
No, that's it, man.
All right. We're going to wrap it up with this. This is Psalms chapter 9, verse 15. It says, "The heathen are sunk down in the pit that they made. In the net which they hid is their own foot taken." 16. The Most High Yahweh is known by the judgment which he executed. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Higgin Salah. All right. So once again, we can take solace. All right. Be rest assured that whatever he's done, and you can see his kingdom falling. You know, I'm thinking of Luke 10 and 18, you know, where Yahweh said, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. He's being pulled out of his rulership quickly. All right. What you're seeing now is an act of desperation. He's trying to hold on to what he's got. All right. Again, this whole coronavirus crap is a cover. He's got everybody preoccupied with this, got them in the houses, got them concerned about 6 feet, you know, social distancing, wearing all these stupid masks, things of that nature. Whether the NBA is going to come back, whether we're going to have a football season. What about pro baseball? All these things that don't mean a damn thing, but they were set up to keep you, you know, your eyes distracted and away from what's really going on anyway. So, again, Jake specifically is just going to be lulled back to sleep quicker than anybody, because whatever you want to say, Esau, he's protesting. He's going up to these capitals with firearms, you know, in protest. And that's the thing where they're trying to stave off, because they know Esau is the one they really got to worry about as it stands now. All right. Because he's tired of being cooped up in his house. He's, you know, concerned about his so-called rights. I'm an American. You know, you got these patriots, constitutionalists, all this crap going against the so-called deep state. All right. So Aaron probably going to have a civil war. Now with this thing with the police and all these things come up, I'm thinking of Genesis 49. You know, who shall rise him up? I'm talking about Jake. All right. At a certain point, it's going to come down to Jake getting tired of the mistreatment. All right. This should be an interesting summer, as I've said, last few videos. It's getting warm, it's staying warm. Now we're going to see. All right. So with that, I hope whoever receives this is edified, of course. Once again, call Allah Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah, by Hashem Kakwadash. Double honors once again, of course, to the apostles of Great Millstone, for teaching us his truth. Salutations to the Akim out there on the highways and byways, pushing this truth, all honesty and sincerity. Try and wake up the hopefully elect. So with that, Shalom.
Shalom.